This is Colin O'Keefe here for LXBN TV. Los Angeles made big news last week when the city council there voted to raise the minimum wage all the way up to $15 per hour. Joining us to break down how this will play out and how employers should respond is attorney Susan Groff. She's with Jackson Lewis, an author on the firm's California workplace law blog. Susan, first off, can you walk us through the logistics of what happened in Los Angeles? Just how soon or not does this go into effect?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Colin. So last Tuesday, the Los Angeles City Council passed an ordinance whereby the minimum wage rate will increase up to $15 per hour as of July 1st, 2020. Now, there will be incremental increases between July 1st, 2016 and 2020. So employers have a little bit of time to deal with this increase in the minimum wage rate. There will be for smaller employers under 25 employees, they'll have an extra year to comply with the law.
I see. So, of course, it's similar to what we actually have going on up here in Seattle, where it is a phased approach. But as I understand, there's probably things that employers should be doing now to prepare for what's happening. So, what should employers there in Los Angeles do? What would your advice be for how they should respond to this minimum wage increase?
Sure. Thanks, Colin. I tell employers that, you do have some time between now and 2020. The increases will be incremental. But I like to remind employers that in addition to the effect on the base rate of pay, to consider how will the minimum wage increase impact you in terms of your other labor requirements. For example, paid sick leave. As many jurisdictions are dealing with, California passed its own version that will go into effect July 1st, 2015. Well, the increase in the minimum wage rate will also affect employers and what is the value of that liability or that benefit under that law. In addition, under California law, there's such a thing as called a meal period or rest period break penalty, where if an employee is not provided that meal period or rest break, they'll be entitled to an extra hour of pay, or they are entitled to extra hour of pay. So that benefit or that penalty, what have you, will also increase in value due to the increase in the minimum wage rate. So those are, I like to remind employers, in addition to the impact on your overtime and your base rate of pay, also think about the other labor requirements that you deal with that are tied to the minimum wage and how that might impact you going forward.
Absolutely. It isn't just the minimum wage. As you mentioned, there's a lot of other things that need to be factored in here that are closely tied, of course, to that minimum wage. Once again, that was Susan Groff of Jackson Lewis. For more of her and her colleagues' insights on this topic, be sure to visit CaliforniaWorkplaceLawBlog.com. Thank you for joining me today, Susan.
Thanks for having me.